Aging is a journey filled with challenges and changes that often go unspoken. Have you ever wondered what truly lies ahead as we grow older? Join us as we uncover the hidden realities of aging, exploring both the trials and the triumphs. By understanding these experiences, we can embrace this stage of life with grace and wisdom, finding joy and purpose in every moment. Let's walk this path together with courage and compassion and discover the beauty that aging brings. Getting older is a fact of life, but there are many tough realities that come along with it that often get overlooked. While some parts are liberating, plenty of challenges make the aging process difficult to navigate at times. As a study by the American Psychological Association highlights, the transition to retirement is often marked by significant changes in daily routines, social connections, and sense of purpose, leading to feelings of disorientation and confusion. A harsh reality is that when you are young, life gives you things, but then as you age, life takes them away. Let's shine a light on 31 harder aspects of growing older that people don't warn you about. Let us know what you think. We are all in this together. 1. Paperwork overload. Number 1 on our list is drowning in paperwork. Why does aging mean constantly filling out forms and keeping track of documents? The mountain of paperwork for healthcare, finances, and more can feel totally overwhelming and turn into a huge source of stress if you're not prepared. 2. Technology struggles. Struggling with technology is another challenge. As we get older, the fast pace of new tech and digital advancements can leave our heads spinning. Just when you finally figure out the latest computer or smartphone, here comes a new model or update with a totally different system to learn. Many older adults feel left behind and disconnected from the world as technology keeps evolving. 3. Bridging the generational divide. The generational divide is another issue. Pop culture references, slang words, and trending topics can all feel like a foreign language to older generations at times. Trying to relate to how younger people communicate gets exhausting. The growing gap between generations isolates many seniors and makes them feel deeply disconnected from youth. 4. Coping with profound grief. Profound grief from loss is one of the hardest and most painful parts of aging. Having to repeatedly say goodbye to a spouse, friends, siblings, and parents, these emotional blows get harder and harder the more they come. Realizing that people you loved will not always be there for you is difficult, if not impossible, to digest. Coping with hard grief becomes normal, and unfortunately, that is hard. 5. Physical aches and limitations. Body pains and limitations are difficult to manage. As we age, our bodies start to tell us no more often. It's difficult to scale back on activities we love due to aches, pains, and reduced mobility. 6. Loss of routine and structure. Losing life's routine can be a major adjustment, with the lack of structure leaving many feeling restless and rudderless as they search for a new normal. 7. Dealing with disrespect. Disrespect from younger generations is another challenge. Despite their wisdom and experience, older adults often face disrespect from younger people, being talked over, ignored, or treated as incapable. 8. Maintaining independence. Holding on to independence is hard. Accepting the need for assistance with tasks we used to do ourselves, even small things like grooming or cooking, feels like a loss of independence and identity. 9. Society's obsession with youth. Culture's obsession with youth can be discouraging for older adults who feel irrelevant and ignored. The sense of becoming invisible can be demoralizing. 10. Facing unfair stereotypes. Older adults often face unfair stereotypes about their intelligence and abilities, leading to discrimination and prejudice. 11. Judgment among peers. Confronting judgment from peers can be challenging. Ageism doesn't only come from younger generations. Older adults can be judgmental about how others are aging, creating a sense of competition and insecurity. 12. Shrinking social circles. As we age, our social circles shrink, making it tough to maintain close friendships, increasing feelings of loneliness and isolation. 13. Adapting to physical changes. Body and appearance changes, like gray hair, weight gain, and skin problems, can be disorienting. It takes work to adjust to our changing looks and feel confident. 14. Financial stressors. Financial stresses, even with retirement planning, can be a source of stress, including concerns about outliving savings and affording healthcare costs. 15. Healthcare headaches. Healthcare headaches are common. Understanding Medicare, insurance plans, and all the medical jargon is like learning a new language. It can be frustrating trying to find the right coverage. 16. Searching for purpose. The loss of purpose is significant. After defining themselves by a career for decades, many retirees feel lost, searching for new meaning and drive in their lives. Hobbies and relationships only go so far. Finding a purposeful passion to pursue becomes a constant goal to avoid feeling useless or depressed. 17. Cognitive declines. Cognitive declines can rattle self-confidence and independence. Learning to adjust to things like decreased concentration or confusion is an endless battle that requires patience. 18. Frequent medical appointments. The non-stop doctor visits can be exhausting. As you get older, it can feel like you're constantly going from one medical appointment to the next. Dealing with new doctors, tests, procedures, and juggling various prescriptions becomes an endless routine that eats up so much time and energy. 19. Redefining intimate relationships. Redefining intimate relationships as bodies and needs change with age can be challenging. Many couples face challenges in their sexual and romantic intimacy. Openly communicating desires while adapting to new realities surrounding physical closeness requires vulnerability and creativity. 20. Transportation troubles. Transportation troubles are significant. Losing driving privileges or struggling with mobility issues makes it exponentially harder to get around. As reflexes and independence decline, not being able to come and go as you please is a difficult freedom to lose. 21. Changing sleep patterns. Changing sleep patterns affect many. It's not just babies who have trouble sleeping through the night. Sleep schedules get disrupted as we get older. Insomnia, fragmented sleep, and other issues make it tough to get good rest consistently. 22. Challenges of grandparenting. Adjusting to grandparenting presents its own unique emotional challenges, from setting boundaries to reconciling generational differences in parenting philosophies with your own children. 23. Redefining self-worth. Redefining self-worth is necessary as we need to find new ways to define our worth beyond our careers and past accomplishments, which can be a challenging and ongoing process. 24. Coordinating long-term care. Coordinating long-term care planning involves legal, financial, and medical considerations, which can be stressful and emotionally challenging. 25. Dealing with boredom. Coping with boredom in retirement can bring a lot of free time, and learning to stay meaningfully occupied can be a challenge. 26. Loneliness and isolation. Isolating loneliness is common, even with family around. We can experience a profound sense of loneliness due to loss, reduced mobility, and social isolation. 27. The bathroom battle. The bathroom battle involves simple tasks like bathing and using the toilet, which can become more challenging and uncomfortable, leading to feelings of embarrassment and vulnerability. 28. Maintaining positivity. Staying positive day to day is important. With so many adjustments to make, it's easy to get caught up in negativity. Staying positive takes effort and a conscious choice. 29. Estate planning essentials. The estate essentials involve handling estate planning, wills, and end-of-life details, which can be stressful and emotional, bringing up worries and sad realities to confront. 30. Redefining home. Redefining home can be challenging. Downsizing or moving into an assisted facility can mean leaving behind a familiar home and starting over, creating a new routine and feeling of home from scratch. 31. Facing life's finality. The hardest part of getting older is feeling life's finality close in. As we age, we become more aware of our mortality, which can stir up unexpected anxieties to work through. By acknowledging these challenges, we can better understand and navigate them. Remember, aging is a journey, and with resilience, self-compassion, and grace, we can find meaning, joy, and growth along the way. Part 2. If you are 70 to 80 years old, your memory is gradually disappearing. Learn how to prevent Alzheimer's now. Someone in the world develops dementia every 3 seconds. There are over 55 million people worldwide living with dementia in 2020. This number will almost double every 20 years, reaching 78 million in 2030 and 139 million in 2050. Much of the increase will be in developing countries. Already 60% of people with dementia live in low and middle income countries, but by 2050 this will rise to 71%. The fastest growth in the elderly population is taking place in China, India, and their South Asian and Western Pacific neighbors. 1. The hidden danger of Alzheimer's. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to lose your memory bit by bit? Imagine not recognizing your surroundings or even your loved ones. In this heart-wrenching story, we follow Grandpa Brian, an 85-year-old who has been battling Alzheimer's for 2 decades. His recent disappearance and miraculous's return highlight the grave risks faced by many elderly individuals suffering from this condition. What is depriving elderly people of their memory? Grandpa Brian is 85 years old this year. He started showing signs of Alzheimer's disease 20 years ago, gradually progressing from forgetfulness to being unable to take care of himself. Just earlier this month, while he was sunbathing in the yard, his wife saw him there and, thinking nothing of it, went indoors to do some housework. However, when she finished, Grandpa Brian was no longer in the yard. She panicked, called the police, and informed their children to come help search for him. They spent 2 whole days searching, but he was nowhere to be found. Just as everyone was deeply worried, Grandpa Brian somehow returned home on his own. He looked like a homeless person, dirty all over and extremely hungry. He couldn't even explain how he managed to find his way back. This wasn't the first time Grandpa Brian had gone missing, but it was the longest he had ever been lost. His wife silently resolved never to leave his side again to prevent such a situation from happening. Many elderly people like Grandpa Brian are in similar situations, but not all are as lucky as him to return home after getting lost. What is stealing away the memories of elderly people? Alzheimer's disease has become a serious public health issue, threatening the quality of life. What exactly causes Alzheimer's disease? 2. The role of amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles. Firstly, Alzheimer's is a common and devastating condition, especially among older adults. Knowing what causes it helps us to recognize the early signs and potentially slow down its progression. This is essential because early intervention can make a significant difference in the quality of life for those affected. Amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles are 2 major factors that damage brain cells in Alzheimer's patients. Amyloid plaques form when a toxic protein, called amyloid beta peptide, builds up in the brain. These plaques disrupt the normal communication between brain cells, which is vital for thinking and memory. On the other hand, neurofibrillary tangles are caused by the abnormal behavior of tau proteins, leading to further brain cell damage and loss of function. Currently, there is no cure for Alzheimer's, but understanding how amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles work can help scientists find ways to prevent or reduce their formation. This could lead to new medications or therapies that might slow the progression of the disease, allowing people to maintain their independence for longer. 3. Major causes of Alzheimer's disease. Did you know that some everyday habits, often considered healthy, might actually increase the risk of developing this condition? In this article, we'll explore surprising factors like dietary habits, napping routines, and cleanliness that could impact brain health. Understanding these can help us make better choices to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Stay with us to uncover the hidden causes of Alzheimer's disease and learn how to reduce your risk effectively. Number 1. Dietary habits and Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a devastating condition that affects memory, thinking, and behavior. It can significantly impact the quality of life, not just for those who have it, but also for their families. Knowing how our eating habits influence the risk of developing this disease can help us make better choices to protect our brain health as we age. Research has found that some so-called good habits might actually be the culprits behind Alzheimer's disease. According to a study in Japan, skipping breakfast is associated with an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Researchers tracked the dietary habits of 525 elderly people over 65 years old for 6 years and found a direct link between skipping breakfast and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. First, the finding that skipping breakfast increases the risk of Alzheimer's by 4 times is a wake-up call. Many people skip breakfast for various reasons, such as convenience or weight control. However, this research shows that missing this meal can lead to poor nutrition, which may speed up brain aging and decline. For older adults who already need more nutrients to maintain their health, skipping breakfast can be particularly harmful. Second, the research highlights that frequent snacking and high salt intake are also problematic. Snacks often contain high levels of fat, which can increase cholesterol and contribute to harmful brain changes. Similarly, too much salt can damage blood vessels in the brain, raising blood pressure and leading to brain damage over time. These findings suggest that moderation is key. Enjoying snacks occasionally is fine, but relying on them too much can be risky. Lastly, the study warns against overly strict light diets, which might seem healthy but can lead to vitamin deficiencies. For example, a lack of vitamin B12, essential for nerve cell function, can increase the risk of Alzheimer's. It's important to balance our diets to ensure we get all the necessary nutrients, especially as we get older. Case study: Mrs. Gracie. Mrs. Gracie, aged 45, worked as a cleaner in an insurance company near her home. Over the past 6 months, she experienced several odd incidents. Despite being a skilled cook, she often forgot to add salt to her dishes or mistakenly added it twice. Once, while cooking, she received a phone call and walked away, completely forgetting about the meal and nearly causing a kitchen fire. Her family initially brushed off these incidents, attributing them to her aging memory. However, over the past month, Mrs. Gracie's behavior has become increasingly peculiar. She no longer knows how to use WeChat and struggles with ordinary phone calls. She avoids social interactions and spends each day sitting alone, staring blankly. Concerned by her condition, Mrs. Gracie's husband promptly took her to the hospital for examination. The tests revealed symptoms of brain atrophy, and her score on a simplified cognitive assessment was only 14 points, confirming clinical dementia. This diagnosis surprised both the doctors and her family. After all, Mrs. Gracie is only 45 years old. How could dementia strike her so early? The doctors discovered that Mrs. Gracie had been a vegetarian for about 10 years, strictly avoiding any animal products. This prolonged vegetarian diet had caused a severe deficiency of vitamin B12 in her body, which was likely the main trigger for her dementia. According to research in Australia, there is a direct link between Alzheimer's disease and vitamin D deficiency. A study conducted by the University of South Australia analyzed data from over 290,000 participants in the UK Biobank. They found that increasing vitamin D intake to normal levels could prevent 17.7% of Alzheimer's disease cases. Researchers believe that vitamin D, as a hormone precursor, has broad effects on the body, including brain health. Number 2. The impact of excessive napping on Alzheimer's disease. Recent studies highlight the link between excessive daytime napping and an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Researchers in the United States conducted a long-term study involving 65 elderly people with an average age of 81. Among these participants, 812 had some form of cognitive impairment. Over 14 years, researchers monitored their nap frequencies using wristwatches. The study found that those who napped for more than an hour a day had a 40% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease compared to those who napped for less than an hour. This significant increase in risk raises concerns about the potential dangers of excessive napping. So, why does excessive napping increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease? Recent research shows that daytime napping is linked to the overaccumulation of toxic proteins in the brain. These proteins can impair the brain regions responsible for wakefulness, leading to cognitive decline and eventually Alzheimer's disease. While these findings are alarming, it's important to understand that not all napping is harmful. In fact, moderate napping can be beneficial for brain health. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society in 2016 found that taking a 1-hour nap after lunch improved cognitive performance in older adults. This study compared individuals who did not nap or napped for shorter or longer periods and found that those who took a 1-hour nap performed better on cognitive tests. In conclusion, while excessive napping can increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease, moderate napping has its benefits. It's crucial for older adults to find a balance in their napping habits. A short nap can provide the rest needed without the risk associated with longer naps. Understanding these findings can help in making informed decisions about sleep habits to promote better brain health as we age. Number 3. Excessive cleanliness. The main point of the message is that excessive cleanliness can increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. While keeping a tidy home is beneficial, overdoing it with cleaning can have negative effects on our health, particularly our immune system and brain function. Immune system development. Our immune systems need to encounter small amounts of bacteria to develop properly. These bacteria help our immune system learn to defend our bodies against harmful pathogens. If our environment is too clean, our immune system doesn't get the necessary stimuli to grow stronger and more effective. Impact of overcleanliness. When we live in an overly clean environment, our exposure to various microorganisms is limited. This reduction in exposure can lead to decreased activity of body tissues and organs. In simpler terms, our bodies become less active in fighting off infections, leading to weaker overall immunity. A weakened immune system might not be able to protect the brain effectively, potentially accelerating nerve degeneration and increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Risks of excessive use of cleaning agents. Using disinfectants, antibiotics, and other cleaning substances too frequently can kill not only harmful bacteria, but also beneficial ones. These good bacteria are important because they activate our immune functions. Without them, our immune system doesn't get the practice it needs to stay strong. This can leave us more vulnerable to diseases and infections. It's essential to maintain a balance when it comes to cleanliness. A clean home is important, but overdoing it can backfire. Moderate exposure to bacteria and microorganisms is crucial for our immune system to function correctly. By allowing our immune system to encounter these external stimuli, we help it grow stronger, which can protect our overall health and potentially reduce the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's. In summary, cleanliness is good, but moderation is key to maintaining a healthy immune system and overall well-being. 4. Early signs of Alzheimer's disease. Doctors remind you to be vigilant about 10 early signs of Alzheimer's disease. Early signs of Alzheimer's disease can be traced. When these symptoms appear in elderly people around you, prompt medical attention is necessary. 1. Decreased ability to learn new things as people age. Learning new skills can become harder. However, a sudden and noticeable decline might be a sign of Alzheimer's. 2. Inability to shop independently. Shopping is a common task that most people handle without much thought. If an older adult suddenly finds it difficult to shop alone, this could be a warning sign. 3. Difficulty in personal financial planning. Managing finances requires concentration and memory. Difficulty with tasks like paying bills or balancing a checkbook can indicate cognitive decline. 4. Noticeable decline in memory, forgetting recent events, names, or places frequently is one of the most well-known signs of Alzheimer's. 5. Repetitive questioning, asking the same questions over and over, despite getting answers, is a key symptom. 6. Inability to express thoughts, clearly struggling to find the right words or follow a conversation can be a sign of Alzheimer's. 7. Loss of interest in previous hobbies, a sudden lack of interest in activities once enjoyed can be alarming. 8. Significant changes in personality, drastic changes in behavior or mood swings might be noticeable. 9. Avoidance of social activities, withdrawing from friends and social activities can indicate discomfort or confusion. 10. Reluctance to talk to family and friends, avoiding conversations might happen due to difficulty in expressing thoughts or fear of embarrassment. 11. Forgetting the way home, getting lost in familiar places is a significant warning sign. 12. Forgetting specific times and seasons, confusion about the time of day, year, or even the season is common. 13. Significant emotional fluctuations, frequent anxiety, depression, or irritability can be symptoms. 14. Difficulty handling ordinary housework, struggling with everyday tasks like cooking or cleaning might indicate cognitive decline. Being aware of these signs can help in seeking timely medical advice. Early diagnosis and intervention can improve the quality of life for those affected by Alzheimer's. If you notice these signs in someone you care about, encourage them to see a doctor. Early detection is key to managing the disease effectively. 5. Living habits to prevent Alzheimer's. Preventing Alzheimer's disease is all about making small but significant changes in your daily life. Two important areas to focus on are your diet and your mental activities. First, let's talk about your diet. Eating fish is highly recommended because fish is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These fats are particularly good for your brain. Research has shown that omega-3s, especially DHA, can help reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. DHA helps in keeping the brain healthy and slowing down any progression of Alzheimer's if it starts. To get enough DHA, you can eat fish like salmon or sardines. Including these fish in your meals a few times a week can make a big difference in your brain health. Next, let's consider mental exercises. Playing games like Sudoku is not just fun, it's also a great way to keep your brain sharp. Sudoku puzzles challenge your brain and improve your cognitive functions. When you regularly engage in such brain-stimulating activities, you strengthen your brain and potentially lower your risk of Alzheimer's. Think of it as a workout for your mind. Just like physical exercise keeps your body fit, mental exercises keep your brain in good shape. To sum it up, preventing Alzheimer's involves paying attention to what you eat and keeping your brain active. By including fish rich in omega-3s in your diet and regularly playing brain games like Sudoku, you can take proactive steps towards maintaining a healthy brain. These simple changes in your lifestyle can have a lasting impact on your overall brain health, helping you stay mentally sharp as you age. It's never too late to start making these healthy choices for a brighter, healthier future.
If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.